this is Phil, who'd left his computer running.
I had, and look, there's something over our faces there.
Right. Okay, then, before we... No, I'll get rid of that. Just a second. Technical issues.
Yes. Can't trust this woman. She's in charge of technical issues, and they're all going wrong. Oh, there's a nice picture.
There we go. We're in the snow, and like we noticing, got our Christmas jumpers on because it's December.
And actually, these Christmas jumpers look perfectly suited to the background.
Yes.
Problem being is a dirty great big radiator behind the green screen that is about 6 inches from where I'm sitting.
It's very hot.
So if we appear to be extremely warm this evening, it's Christmas jumper. I got to put in.
Yep, and
Caroline's
I've got
got reindeers.
And look, Mankey has decided at last he's upgraded his PPE. He now has a Santa beard face mask and his Santa hat as well. You've got to celebrate it being December, so what do you think? Do we look very festive?
Fair play. Tiddy was very good because he lent Mankey his hat.
Yes.
Because Mankey didn't have a Christmas hat, so he borrowed it from Tiddy because Tiddy's got all sorts of outfits. Tiddy's got a Scottish outfit. He's got bagpipes and everything.
I know. We've got some crazy teddy bears. Right then, so let's have a look who the first three in. Because I've stopped doing everybody because it takes so long. There's so many of you and it's lovely to see you all. Everyone who's really welcome. We're glad to see you here. But the first one in was Adam's Advanced Adventures. Well done, Adam.
He don't go.
I think he is permanently.
Adam sits there all week just waiting for us to come back. I'm convinced of it because he has been first in now for the last 2 months.
And then Lexi B was second. Well done, Lexi. And then Scott Williams left a message but taken the message back, but he was third. But because he retracted his message, I'll mention Sue Houghton, who was in saying good morning because she's obviously not in Wales.
We got a photo finish for third. Which is relevant to one of the questions tonight, just to give a hint. And I'll give you a bit of an heads up. 5 questions as always. The first one will be with regards to Chepstow, and the last one will be with regards to Cardigan, because obviously this week's video was our probably longest ever trip contained within a video. We've been up with Tom, we've been down to the south coast, we've done all sorts of... But to actually cross Wales in order to try and get the job done, that was something different. But it was necessary because they have shut, the better side of the beach. Having said that, I did get the best find of the day, but they have shut the better side of the beach. They have,
yes. Everything gathers at one side and we were the other.
And there was no way to get down. Well, as you could see from the footage, they were offloading giant sort of half-ton concrete blocks on cranes, building a sea defence. So really trying to get down past there wouldn't have been wise, especially when all the signs said, keep out, go away, we don't want you here, and things like that. So there we go.
Lots of people commenting on our jumpers and Mankey. Phyllis called him Mankey Claus. Yes. It's actually snowing in Maine. We had snow this morning.
It did. We had about an hour of snow. It didn't stick in our area, in the garden and the front road now. But the mountains for the next hour were beautiful and white. The tops of the mountains, and then it all disappeared because the rain washed it away. Even the beacons, which you can only just see from here, when it's clear, the snow cleared off them quite quickly today. But I'm sure it'll be back.
Linda said, will the Johnsons be posting a family Christmas photo with Mankey too?
Well, if we...
Not so much a Christmas photo, we'll be posting a Christmas video, because for anybody who is lonely, who missed our announcement last week, Christmas night in the UK, so 9 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time on Christmas 25th of December, we will be having our happy hour for all those people who've got nobody or very few people to see on Christmas evening, because it's a different Christmas this year. It's not so easy to socialise. But don't give up your family or anything. They'll be very annoyed if you're watching TV. But if you've got nothing better to do, pop on over. We're not expecting a big crowd. There may be, but we're not expecting a big crowd. But we're going to have a lot of fun.
Got a big crowd tonight. We just passed the 100.
Oh, lovely.
So that's fantastic. As I said last week, if we turned up for our Christmas show and there was nobody there, we'd be over the moon, because it means everybody's got something better to do, which is great. But we do appreciate some people just might be glad of the opportunity. So that doesn't cancel out the fact that we will be here doing our show as per usual on the Saturday.
Yes, because we will have an old man in our midst.
Yes. Well, on Saturday the 19th...
Oh, you won't be old then.
No, well, on Saturday the 19th, I'll have 2 days to go.
Yes.
Because I discovered tonight on the show that Mick is but a boy.
I know.
But a boy.
Mick from Docking Bay 21 is a baby. He's a year younger than
21. You just took 30
yeah.
years. You took 30 years
51.
off. You make him even younger now.
41 is something
51.
one.
It's definitely 51.
Don't rely on me.
Yeah, Docking Bay 51. Mick, we're virtually 1 year exactly apart because he's the end of the month, I believe, and I'm on the 21st, which is the shortest day. So on the 19th, it'll be a big birthday bash. In fact, I'll go through this now. Next week, live show, iffy. We're going for it, but iffy, because we're going to be away from home again. Now, the last time we went away from home, our internet connection didn't function for upload and we failed. So next week, iffy, but going to give it a go. The week after, big birthday bash. And in the big birthday bash, which is for my 60th, which I won't have celebrated for another 2 days.
You'll still be a baby.
We're going to get the list of questions that Mick and Sarah used today, and we will answer those questions in the big birthday bash.
So if you want to know the answers to some of those questions as we would answer them, then come along to the birthday bash.
So that'll be happening then. And then, obviously, that's on the 19th. So we are going to be broadcasting then Christmas night and Boxing Day.
Oh, Boxing Day's the 26th, is
It's
it?
the Saturday,
Oh,
isn't
you'll be
it?
fed up of us 2 days in a row.
So we will be broadcasting on our Saturday slot, but we're going to do a Friday night simply to meet up with folks. So it's going to be chaotic.
Oh,
It's gonna be
Janine's
chaos.
birthday is then too. Oh, well, congratulations, Janine. And what a coincidence. Oh, and Pamela Chadwell will be 55 on the 24th. But put my glasses on, I could be reading this wrong.
Oh, nice people
Yes,
out
it is
there.
55.
You mean your 40th? No, not quite. No, but I'm one of those people who doesn't mind getting older.
No.
Because I had an old friend, his name was Bill, and he summed it up brilliantly. Because Bill was 93, I think.
I think it was, yeah.
I think it was his 94th birthday, and he was going off into chapel on the Sunday morning, and they were all making a fuss of him. And a young man came up to him and said, "Good grief, Bill! What on earth is it like being 94?" He said, "Well, when you consider the alternative was to drop dead at 93, it's not at all bad." So I'm one of them people, glass half full, and I'm positive about the idea. Having lost my dad when he was 32, I'm thrilled if I make it to 60. I don't mind doing 70, 80, and hopefully we'll still be mudlarking when I'm 90.
Well, Scott Williams' mum and dad's anniversary is on Christmas Eve, and Rachel Bailey's niece will be 10 on Christmas Day. It's a very popular time of year for events.
Yeah, popular time of year for events, but if you happen to be born, especially on Christmas Day, we knew somebody was born on Christmas Day.
Birthday and Christmas together.
I know. We're in a group of our own. Anyone born within a week of Christmas can settle down and have a good old moan that we get birthday and Christmas and our siblings get separate presents. And their party is always a bigger deal because it's on, and it gets a bit eclipsed, doesn't it? You can't expect your parents to match Christmas Day with your birthday.
No.
So whatever you get for your birthday is going to kind of disappear into the Christmas experience.
But we always make a separate thing anyway, don't we?
Yes.
Your birthday is always separate to Christmas. So.
Yeah, because we like any excuse to eat chocolate.
Yeah.
So that's basically...
Too lots of chocolate for fun.
That's basically what it is. Although I am trying to be very good because I did set myself a goal to get down to what I consider my optimum weight by my 60th birthday, which meant I had to lose 1.5 stone, and I decided this 3 months before my birthday.
You did?
On the 21st of September.
And how close are you now?
I'm now within £7 of it in my target.
Impressive.
7.5, I think. Or at least I was. I might not be now. It goes up and down, doesn't it? But whether I'll make it, I don't know, but I'll just move the goalposts and I'll go for the new year.
Yep.
And I'm still trying for it because Christmas and my 60th could kind of impact.
Could a little bit.
It could.
Might have the odd calorie more than usual.
Yes, I might have to live on cornflakes for the rest of the year.
It's not fair, see. We decided, or perhaps we both try to lose weight, and Phil says, I've got to lose a stone and a half, I've got to lose 3. So, needless to say, I wasn't very successful.
And by the way, I didn't set Caroline's goal, she didn't set mine. We each have our goal for where we'd like our weight to be. I always feel, the last time I lost weight a few years ago, Caroline said to stop at 12-12 because you felt that if I lost any more weight, I was starting to look thin around the face. And so 12-12, and because I struggle to remember things, I can remember that. 12-12, 180 pound, just like triple top.
180.
That's the one. There we go.
Right, should we do something mudlarking related?
Possibly, yeah, we could do.
So what do you want to do? Do you want to do a find first and then we can go into a question?
I tell you what, I could do, couldn't I? That would be an idea. You're really thinking now.
Phil, you would think by now would be organised. He spent 3 hours getting organised for tonight. He's still not organised.
I did. There we go. I'm going to show this. And the reason I'm going to show this, because I forgot about this when answering some of the comments. Because people have noticed that in the last 2 videos, there was no ridge pottery. Now, we've come to the decision that we were obviously visiting an area where marmalade was not popular. But in fairness, technically, this does get us a get out of jail free card because we could argue that is the biggest ridges we've ever found on a piece of pottery.
Not really ridge pottery, was it? I think it's the bottom of a tile.
Maybe not. I don't know. I think it's...
I think it is.
Oh, no, it's not. Look, that's the back of it.
Let's have a look.
If you look, that would be the back. That's the front.
Could be.
Yeah,
Yes, it could be a meat drainy thing, but it's not a ridge pottery jar, is it?
It's definitely not a marmalade jar.
Oh, crap, the caravan has said it's a cheese triangle. Yep, I think you're right.
Oh, hang on, I'll try it now. No, I won't.
No.
That's what we're going to try one day, isn't it? We're going to try eating some of the things we find. And if you try to work out what that means, then you'll have to keep watching.
Hello, Audie. Audie is tech support Tim's friend. And she said, how do you do mudlarking in the cold winter? You dress up very warm.
Yes.
I wear a t-shirt, a jumper, a cardigan, a fleece, and then I've got this big, huge coat that I can stretch over the top of it, a hat, trousers, gloves, and Phyllis bought us these little hand warmer things that you can plug into the USB, press the button, and they warm up, and they're lovely. You pop them in your pocket.
No kidding, they get hot.
You're sweating again.
Caroline went for a walk the other evening, she put them in the pockets of like a fleece you had on, then put a coat over the top. And she was sort of looked like her blood pressure was going up. She was cooking.
At the end, I was opening my coat to let some heat out.
They are brilliant. They really are. And here's another little find that I'll show, which was that. Now, can we get the angle? Hang on. Believe me, they're all the same, and I'll show you the largest one. Here you go. Because while this is a modern transfer printed tile, it did give me the opportunity to try and beat Caroline at plain or patterned. Because I found all 5 of these pieces, but they were spread out along the beach. And when we were walking back to the car, we discovered somebody must have, I don't know, did they strip off a kitchen in a boat?
In a boat, I think, and just thrown it overboard.
Threw it overside, which is really bad practice for somebody with a boat. But there must have been about 20 of these smashed up along the beach. So, but they did give us the opportunity on a very windswept day to play a game of plain or pattern.
Fee in the shed said in Scotland we just wear one more jumper because we're hard.
Well, my brother lives in Scotland, but he's Welsh, so he's not as hard. So he always argues, layers, that's the secret, layers. Oh, Mike, innit? When he was living out he lived in a woodman's hut place, a house, beautiful place in the middle of the woods near Falkland. And it was pretty cold out there. Yeah. You could see the stars. There was no lights for miles. It was right in the middle of a forest, this gorgeous house. But it was cold. And he looked twice the size when he was living out there because he wore so many layers. And those lovely thick shirts that your dad used to buy from Scotland on his trips when he used to bring them back. Yeah, but... and Audie, if you have a look on the channel, you'll be able to find one of our videos where we actually went mudlarking in the snow. Yes. We did. We are toughies, I tell you.
It was fun. We actually found things as well. I didn't think we would. I thought everything would be under the snow, but we found a few things. Yeah, somebody else has said that the green on holly on it is messing with the screen, so you got whatever's behind showing up on your holly leaves.
So I'm going to sit like this all day.
No, don't worry, we just think we can see through you.
I'm see-through.
Right, so you go and
Right,
ask the question. Here we go.
Shall we have a question? And we don't have we still don't have a jingle?
No, yes we do. Yes we do.
We do. Right, as promised, the first question is with regard to our first location, which is right on the borders with England. In fact, part of the area around there is in England, even though we hadn't crossed the waters. But we see the Severn Bridge as the gateway to Wales, right? And obviously vice versa. So Chepstow has a rich history and a fair few claims to fame, including the fact that it is the home of the Welsh National Horse Race. You know, you have the National, well, we've got a Welsh National. And it is raced ever since they shut Carolinej, which was an older racecourse but closed down. They moved it up to Chepstow. But by comparison, for a racecourse, it's quite a young venture. In fact, the racecourse has been there for less than 100 years. In what date was the racecourse established in Chepstow?
Good question. I had no idea. So I guessed, and I guessed completely wrong. Alright, so
it's less than 100 years old.
Lexi has guessed at racecourse, but she was in a little bit premature there. Hello, Deb. Deb just arrived. They're not. They're coming in very quickly. Wait a minute. We still haven't got a right one. Still haven't got a right one. Oh, somebody's got the right answer, but I'm not saying who. You seen the right answer?
I have. I've seen the correct answer.
Well done.
I have indeed. Any more coming in?
Lots of guesses all around the same period. I was well out. I was nowhere near that period.
Caroline was guessing the 1950s.
I've never really been into horse racing, so I had no idea.
No, but even if people are, they wouldn't necessarily know.
No, I don't suppose
when something,
so. No, especially the exact date.
It was the sort of question that you needed to check up and Google, really.
Yep.
So we've had 2 correct answers.
Right,
are we going to get a third?
Give you another couple
of minutes.
Are we going to
get a third?
Are we going to say who was right?
Are we going to get
a lot of 1932s coming in.
Yeah.
1936, 1919, 1935. And Patricia's retracted her message, so I don't know if she's changed it. I can't see another one coming in. Hello, Cody.
Who you trying to impress, Lexi?
Oh, wow, look at Lexi. How's that for accurate? 6th of August, 1926.
Who are you trying to impress? Is she right? Or is she just trying to baffle us with precision?
Could be. Right, so...
Well, we've had quite a lot of answers in, and yes, Lexi is correct. In 1926, as is Norma, who's come in 4th, has come in 3rd, but first in the line by a long chalk was Adam.
Yes.
He was not only first in, but he's wide awake and on the ball.
On the ball, so well done, Adam.
Yeah, 1926, which is fairly modern by racecourse standards.
That's very honest, Lex. She said, I'm Googling.
Yeah, well, I would have expected people to Google that one. I have got 1 or 2 tonight that Caroline guessed one, and I was surprised, and it was a total guess, and she got it right.
I was surprised that I guessed one.
She knew another, but there again, she was on the holiday with me, so she was kind of
a
new.
giveaway, that.
And in fairness, she knew another. So there were 2 that Caroline knew, not because she was with me on the holiday, but actually did give them a guess with no
so they're
Google.
easy ones.
So there are a couple come in that will give you a chance. So hopefully you do well. But well done, everyone. Some close answers. But we've got to give the first prize to Adam. Right then.
Right, show you now. You may have seen this. I don't know if I can show you because it's so teeny tiny. Try there. Try closer. No, it's not going to show us, is it? It's a little tiny at first. I thought it was a shell. We found this on the beach. And you can see all the curls and the twists up it. Well, you could if you could focus this silly camera on it. But it's not. It's actually, if you look closely, it's a little baby unicorn horn. Now, when they're first born, they can be a little bit loose. And sometimes if they bump their noses, they fall off and grow another one.
Bit like teeth.
Yeah, so we've actually got a baby unicorn horn found on a beach in Wales. So I was really pleased with that. It's very nice, and don't anybody tell me it's not a baby unicorn horn.
Yes, dear. Of course.
I'm convinced.
Right. Well, baby unicorn horns. I don't know if I can trump that. She only did that because I said I had the best find. But I have repaired the beautiful pipe that I trod on.
Yes.
When on the beach. If I turn it that way, you can see much more clearly the break where it got trodden on. I am just so relieved. Some of you may remember we found a pipe that somebody had trodden on the other time up at near Tredegar, wasn't it? And that was in 4 or 5 pieces, but the bowl was shattered. This bowl, because I was surprised that the bowl didn't break with my weight going on it. It was one of those moments when you sort of kind of see it, but it's too late. You're committed to the step. And those who've watched the video will know it was slippery and it was dangerous down there.
Just a bit.
It was very slippery. So there was no chance of sort of redirecting your foot. You just go down like a ton of bricks. But although I managed to snap that bit as well, I think, because looking at the new break on it, when I trod on it, this is quite a chunk. This is a lot more solid. And the clay, when I was gluing it back together, it's much more, how can I explain? Much more like china.
Harder.
It's much harder. So I think that's what saved it when my foot went down and it just broke off there on the stem. But as Caroline said today, now I've cleaned it up a bit, you can see. It's got not the best of patterns ever, but nice to have that bit of pattern. And possibly having that pattern helped as well because it made it a little thicker when I decided to stamp all over it. But there we go. There it is. My pipe.
Have you got a question on pipes?
Oh, I have actually.
Should we go for another question?
Good grief, I'd only 25 past and you're doing the second question. Right, here we go. At $85,000, the world's most expensive smoking pipe is a unique, handcrafted piece of luxury, which is embellished with 47 pieces of black and white diamonds, 38 pieces of rubies, 6 pieces of fine sapphire.
Only 6.
Only 6. And is in the form of what creature?
I guess this one.
What creature is this $85,000 smoking pipe made?
Right then, while you're all answering that and Googling if necessary, let's
we
have
had
a look.
2 people guess Meersham.
Right, Audie said unicorns start off as seahorses and that's why we found it on the beach. That could well be right. And Crafty Caravan has said staple it to a tiny horse. That's really cruel. Glue it but staple it? Oh, I can just imagine this horse going, ow, my nose, my nose. No, it's not on the, is it on the, yes. Or is it, no, it's up there, isn't it?
Somebody doesn't approve of smoking, obviously. I don't either, but they said a skunk. Excellent, Beldy, I like it. So, Lynette wanted unicorn.
Right.
Lots of answers on the same vein. Unicorn, rhino.
Cody said the unicorn stepped on the pipe. It could be, but unicorns tend to be light on their feet, don't they? Because they don't all, but some have wings. So, could be one that didn't have his wings fully grown and so stepped heavily.
Right then. Well, the correct answer, which is in the majority on this one, and as I say, it was one Caroline guessed, it was a dragon. And the first 5 answers were correct before we came to an incorrect answer.
Well
and
done,
that
everyone.
was Janine, Kentish Mudlarkers, Rufus Williams, Dawn Zeb and Mo. So Mo's
done.
top of the tree.
Yeah, well done,
Mo
Mo.
got the dragon, and that's correct. I don't know if you looked it up to check and saw it. It is an incredible piece of jewellery, but the idea of smoke in an $85,000 pipe, perhaps it was one of those things that was made and it would function as if you chose to, but I don't think anyone's ever going to actually light up in it. You know what I mean? It was made
you
more.
wouldn't use it, would you?
It was made.
Well, you might if you were so rich.
Because people were guessing Meersham because they were trying to come up with the maker of the most expensive pipe, and I understand where you're going there because they have made some incredible pipes. but on this occasion it was crafted by a jeweller rather than a pipe maker.
Yeah.
So I think they did. And if you want notoriety, then why not?
Can you imagine if we found one of those in the mud?
Oh,
I'd probably think it was a toy one. Think nobody would ever make a pipe like this. I think it was just some glass and plastic. Right.
So over here.
So let's have a look. Somebody was mentioning about. Just a second. Sorry, it's a bit cluttery now.
Dawn said no one would be tossing that one in the mud for you.
No. We found quite a few bits of glass. They're not old. They are old, but they're not smooth. They were all recently smashed. Quite a lot of these have got bubbles in them. I don't think you can see. But yet the edges, so the water had been... Oh, that's a green piece. You can see that. You see straight through. If I step out there, look. And so that was a shame, really. If only we'd got these a little bit sooner. But then again, maybe we wouldn't have, because they wouldn't have been brought down to where we were. But there's some really nice older bottlenecks. But see how recently smashed they are. But there was the talk about gummy bears. Now, some of you may be wondering when I talk, what is a gummy bear? Well, you've got some pieces of glasses that look like that. And they're nice and they're frosted. You get some pieces of glass. I'll get there in the end. They look like that. They're not frosted because they haven't been tossed around in the sea much. But then you get this sort of thing. And it looks like a gummy bear. On that side, again, freshly smashed. But we gave this one gummy bear status because it does look quite chewy. Like a gummy bear. So if you imagine what a gummy bear looks like, if you find glass that looks like a gummy bear, it's a gummy bear piece of glass. And we find them every now and again, and they're lovely, they're rounded. They're shame, but this one isn't the best example. But that's why we call them gummy bear. That was the sharp side. That's why we call them gummy bear glasses. Because they look like a big gummy bear.
I was just looking at the comments because Paul gives his apologies for being late. Don't worry, Paul. When we started, we were less than 100. Now we're 142. So just join the crowd, mate. It's great to have you with us. Also, beeping with beep. Hello from Canada. My first time here.
Oh, right.
Welcome.
Hello. We've seen your comments, but I didn't realise you haven't actually been on a live show. Lovely to have you here.
Yes, fantastic. That's great. Lovely to see you. And we've got a hello from Florida as well.
There's two blues. You don't often get... No, that's not the one with a bit of pattern on, is it? But you don't often get blue in a lot of the beaches we go to. And then now we've had two different shades of blue, and you don't often get this light blue, so I'm not sure where that came off. These ones, yes, you see these more often, but that pale blue, it's a really unusual colour, so I'm not quite sure what that came off. But we found quite a lot of... Well, not quite a lot. It wasn't tons, but we did find enough to make it worthwhile, all the bits of glass we found.
There you go. And April K said, I'm late too. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Right then, are you going to show us another find?
I'll show you another find.
Which find are we going to see?
I'm going to show you two finds.
Two finds. The suspense is killing me.
Two rusty finds.
Oh,
One,
they would be.
my rusty nail.
Isn't that impressive?
I like nails. There you go. One rusty nail. When you think about it, mind, when that nail was straight, the fair length, that's got to be a 6-inch nail. So it must have been doing a fairly hefty task to be driving a 6-inch nail in somewhere. It's difficult to tell whether the head is
Probably
round.
rusted off now, is it mainly?
No, it's
There's not a
there,
lot
but it looks oval as opposed to round, but it's not flat like some of the older nails. See, it looks more oval.
I should pretend to be a nail expert.
But then we have the ring of truth.
If that was the ring of truth, it'd be worth a fortune.
Remember that from the video?
Let's start bids on the ring of truth. £1 million.
That's right. Now, I have taken a closer look, and just there, you've got a lovely rounded edge, and then below it, there is a groove that is running not all the way round now because this is corroded, but I'm assuming it would have run all the way around, which suggests that a rubber seal may have sat in there, you know, a round rubber seal. And I'm assuming there was a hinge on the one side there where it's flat, and then you would pull that down and you would clamp it this side where we have this large metal piece.
Could be.
So it would form a seal of some kind. So that's what I'm assuming. It could have been on the end of a hose, and then that would have locked in.
Like a fireman's hose.
Yeah. Probably due to the location, to do with...
Maritime things.
Yeah. On the water, I would
It's a
say.
pretty good guess.
But ultimately, I think it still serves. If you can have unicorns, then I can have the ring of truth.
Right. Think how much money we could make from we could do a lie detector service.
And while we're on the subject
Right.
of rusty things...
Oh, no.
No.
More rusty things.
People are sat there waiting for this.
Oh, yes.
Because
I can sense the anticipation coming through the screen.
You put up a legacy title. See, I'm learning. I know the words for these things.
They tell you.
You know, you put up a legacy title saying you will see this cleaned up.
Yes.
For which I would cheerfully like to thank you. Because I
What
couldn't...
need it doing?
I was searching for it. I found it outside. It was so manky. We left it out in the yard. So it's been out there ever since we got
It's
home.
pretty awful.
But I have done my best, honest, to clean this up. And if you saw it on the programme, you'll realise a lot of the
Well, there were pebbles.
lumps of...
rusted on
Yeah,
it
there
and
was all
everything,
sorts on it. I've had a hammer to that in the bathroom earlier. So don't look in the bathroom
No,
bin.
if the bathroom police call, they will arrest us. It's terrible in there.
Now, you could see words on there now, I think. Can you see the words? I have done a rubbing of the words.
Very efficient.
Which is probably totally useless to you.
It's not very clear, is it?
But the bottom word, that's definitely LinkedIn.
LinkedIn?
So, yeah, from there on, see, it says
Oh,
Inkton. And that's an L and that's an R. So we got RL Inkton.
LinkedIn.
So it's got to be a place, I would think, unless it's the name of the product, like Burlington or Arlington.
Yeah.
Now, there's an R there. Did they spell Arlington? There's not room for many more
I
letters.
don't know
so
if
it
you
could
can see
be,
anything there.
could be Arlington. The top word is the.
Oh, well done. There's the. If I can show you which way. That way. There's the. And then here we think it says station, is it?
I'm not sure. It's Signal
Signal.
or SIG signature. Could be signature.
Does anybody recognise any of those words that can
Could
put
be,
it together to
the middle
know
word
what
could
it
be
was?
signature. The bottom one could be Arlington. The top one is the. So that's probably all wrong except for the.
We know it
But-
definitely says the.
But it definitely says the. I'm confident of that.
Right. So you've got a question now, have you? To go with that, or
No.
right then, because we got this here.
So,
If you look at that one there, and I'll get some.
yeah. No. Margie, we haven't received the package yet. We are still waiting in anticipation, but it hasn't arrived yet. But I've sent a couple of packages at about the same time out to the States, and they haven't arrived yet.
No, things are really slow at the
I
moment.
sent 2 Monkey Panda games, and up until when I checked yesterday, they still hadn't arrived. So it looks like everything's a bit of a slow pace, possibly with December now and everything happening. But I'm sure it'll be here soon, and hopefully we'll be able to show it on the show.
Right. Well, so I'll show you. Look at this. Phil thought maybe that was a bead. Oh, I'll just put that down there. But no, you can see it's just a BB gun bullet. So that was really disappointing. Thought, oh, is it like some sort of really old glass bead? No, it's a plastic lump. And we got ball bearing. Nice shiny ball bearing. Well, it's not really nice and shiny either. I'm exaggerating. It's rusty. A rusty old ball bearing. But I have got, and you know me, and pipe stems. And look. 2 bits of pipe stem.
Indeed.
Now, admittedly, this is only a little dinky one, but I do love my pipe stems. And let's have a look. If I show you there, that's the one way straight. If you're picking one up, you think, is this a pipe stem? Check the middle, because sometimes they can be cores off batteries or goodness knows what, bits of wire. If they don't bend, because I've done that before, I thought, oh, it's a pipe stem. And then
Piece of coax cable.
yes, it just bends. So check it doesn't bend gently, of course. Don't go, ugh, because you snap it.
Don't
But
tread
then-
on them.
No, don't tread on them. That's not a good
I
way of
nearly
testing
trod on
them.
that little one, didn't I?
Yeah,
Because you said it was right to the side of my
Wouldn't
big
hurt
boot
it, though. I think
print.
it's so small.
You wouldn't have
couldn't
found
snap
it, though.
No, it would have been pushed into the ground. But when you check it doesn't bend, then have a look for the holes. And they will be, it could be full of mud or whatever, but there will be a hollow bit in the centre. If there's no hollow bit in the centre, you're being conned.
The interesting thing is when they're full of mud and that is that you can see the black against the white. It tends to be a dark circle in the centre. Do you have there, because you showed all the glass earlier, but I don't think you showed the blue glass.
I did.
You did?
I did.
Well, you slipped that past me because my question is related to your piece of blue glass, my dear.
Would you like that piece, or I got another piece
No,
of blue if you want more than one?
The question that is about to be asked is related to this find. Now, somebody in a comment said, I love that milk of magnesia colour blue. And this colour now has become so synonymous with the bottles that contain milk of magnesia that people are actually using it as a way to describe the shade.
The bottom of one?
Yep, and that's the top of one, which we found on this trip. So my question is related to milk of magnesia. Charles H. Phillips, he's the man. He was an English chemist who moved from England to Elizabeth in New Jersey. There he operated as a retail druggist. In other words, he ran a chemist store. In 1873, he patented his new medicine, which he named milk of magnesia.
We've all heard of that one.
Other than 8% hydrate of magnesium, what is the other ingredient in milk of magnesia?
Well then. Right, while you're doing that, Janice said there was a pretty copper-coloured bead-looking item. Sorry, there's an arrow in my way. There's a pretty copper-coloured bead-looking item where you found the yellow BB. I thought you were going for that one. Well, you must have missed that one, Janice. I think the orange one must have caught her eye. It's a shame. And Sharon
You
said...
can tell all these people have actually taken milk of magnesia because they all reckon it's chalk.
Yeah. Sharon Rocco said, I wonder how they made the hole in the pipe stems. Now, that's interesting, that, Sharon. I wonder, because if they try sticking something down there, like a piece of wire, then they could easily poke it out the side, couldn't they? So they make it a round wire and then pull the wire out. That's really interesting. I'm going to find out. Wait a minute, Jenny says they used a piece of wire. Once they put clay in the mould, they pushed the wire through. Right, while it's still in the mould. That would make sense. Now we know. Brilliant. Thank you, Jenny.
Rufus wants to know if I've received the snorkel and speedos yet.
You're saying he needs them?
He's probably he sent them, but I don't believe him. Because he's always, Abercombe boy is always winding me up.
Oh, right then. So we got lots of
answers. We got chalk, milk, chalk. Right? Then we got chalk, bismuth, chalk, water, chalk, water. So
right,
that's 3 correct answers there because actually it is water. So coming in third was Sharon Rocco. Coming in second was Amanda Bell. And top of the tree, Crafty Caravan.
Well done.
Caroline said chalk.
Yeah, it's because it just looks... I don't think I've ever taken it, but it looks chalky.
Yeah, it's chalk. There is no milk anywhere near it.
No, I guess it wouldn't be milk because otherwise it would probably go off. So that was my
There was no
reasoning.
milk anywhere near it. Now, I was going to ask the question, but I didn't. I changed it. Why was it called milk of magnesia? And then everyone would say because there was milk in it, I suppose. But actually, the only reason they gave it the name milk of magnesia is because it had a milky look to it when they mixed the compound of 92% water and 8% magnesium, hydrate magnesium. And it is water. And as I said to Caroline, I think there was also a little bit of marketing going on. Because if you say magnesium emulsion, nobody's going to want to take it. If you say magnesium compound, who's going to think of it? But doesn't it sound, one, it's that word you just say. It's
alliteration.
Yes, it's good alliteration. I'm always forgetting that word because they got the M and the M. But also, when they say milk of magnesia, it sounds like as if it's something healthy and something you would drink. So I think clever marketing plus the actual visible content of the bottle, but no milk. It's water, and Crafty Caravanners have the points.
Well done. Just to go back to the pipes for a second, Jenny said it's a video from Nangaru China Works, I think, that shows how they do it. So I'll go and check that out. Now, it's only down the road from us, about 30 minutes away. So
I tell you what, if we ever find a piece of Nangaru China when we're mudlarking, we're made. Because remember on
You'd have to have the whole thing, though.
No, but remember the chap on... One of the chaps on the Antiques Road trip or something, he found one and it was nibbled and chipped and it was wasn't in a good state at all. And it was worth thousands. Thousands.
Yeah, well, they sold it back to Nangaru China Works.
Yeah, I think it must have sold for like 6 or 7.
Yes, because there was one man, I can't remember his name now, he was famous for painting the roses on there, and the roses were so good that he's just become world famous for them, and they put a high price on them. So if you can find a Nangaru China saucer plate with a rose on the side, you're doing really well.
Well, that may explain why people thought they were chalking it, because Mo's expression was, milk and magnesia made my teeth itch.
I don't know if I thought made my teeth itch now.
Nobody seems to have liked it.
Laura said it's better than Pepto-Bismol. I've never had Pepto-Bismol, but that does not sound like a pleasant thing. Right then.
Hang on.
Hang on, what are we hanging on
Somebody's saying they were number 3 and I missed them out.
Controversy.
It wouldn't be the first time. Hang on, Heather, we'll check now. I'm terribly sorry. Let's go back up.
Right. While you're reading us, Charlotte said, looking back on your past videos, mudlarking and magnet fishing, you found a hook. I think it could be a lumberjack tree climbing spike. Off subject, but just had to share. Oh, thank you. That's brilliant. Thanks, Charlotte. Right, I think I remember the one, yes. It was a while ago now, wasn't it?
On this occasion, I do not stand corrected. Well done, Heather. You were number 4 because Sharon was above you. That was... And then Amanda, and then Crafty Caravanners. But you were 4th, and it was a close thing. I thought I'd messed up again, because one time I actually missed the first person, because they came in so quick that they got shot up to the top. But there we go. Well done, Heather. But
bye, Kit and Caboodle. Kit and Caboodle, as I was. Kit and Caboodle, I don't know why.
Yeah, nice. As if it's their names.
Yes,
hello, Kit. Hello, Caboodle.
Right, Pepto now comes in tablet form, which probably sounds a lot more tastes a lot more pleasant than drinking the stuff. Right then.
They used to tell us. Anybody else have parents or grandparents and other relatives, usually adults, that would say, yes, it's got to taste awful, otherwise it won't make you better.
Oh yeah, my mother always used to say the worse it tastes, the better it's doing.
Yeah, we have now grown up and realised they're talking rubbish.
They were lying to us.
Actually, one of our children has a very bad heart condition as a baby, and we had to go down and collect the medicines, and we had one medicine to take, and it was kind of nicknamed cat's wee because it had a strong ammonia smell, and it was disgusting. Now, the children hated it, and the nurses in the hospital, guys in London, said that they taste a tiny bit of each medicine, just a tiny bit, just put on their tongue, then wash their mouths out, so they know if they're horrid, so that they have sympathy with the kids, which I thought was very good of them. But our chemist, Merv, he's no longer with us, he passed away, amazing guy, he turned around and said, I can change the taste. And he used to flavour, because in the chemist shop, he used to mix up flavourings, didn't he? And make it taste better. He says, it's not going to taste lovely. And he said, what flavour do you want? And Caroline's favourite is orange. And I think that's what they did. They orange flavoured it. No, they orange flavoured it for the baby, which made a lot of difference. So there was a pharmacist defying the logic of all the adults we ever knew. It doesn't have to taste bad to do you good.
No.
You heard it here, folks.
Right, now before we go on anymore, now whenever we've had super chats on here, it comes up on the screen, and so everybody can see and we can say thank you, but we don't get that when people give us any sort of support on Ko-fi. So I've made this little thing here, there, because in order of how they came in, we have had support on Ko-fi this week from Ed Mosier, Tiffany Wensker Armstrong, I hope I'm saying that right, Phyllis Williams and Therese Callahan. So thank you ever so much. We really do appreciate it and want to take this opportunity to say thank you, because you don't get the normal opportunity because it doesn't come up on the screen.
No.
I'm not sure if we can fix it to do that. I think there may be a way now.
We're starting to look more into Ko-fi, and there'll be more news on that at my birthday bash with regards to how we're trying to develop Ko-fi and use that, because amazing, they're offering the facilities for a shop and everything on there now. It's it's growing, isn't it?
It is, but thank you very much. We really do appreciate it, your support.
Yeah, big thank you. Yes, to everyone. A couple of people saying we're missing Mr. Burley tonight.
Yes, we haven't seen Tom.
Tom isn't with us tonight, and we would have known if he was, because he would have certainly been in the top 3 or a couple of these, I think
so.
Because Tom is pretty sharp. He knows his stuff. Fair play.
Beeping with beep. Is it beeping with beep or beeping with Pepper? I'm not quite sure, sorry.
Yeah, and it's
$5 Canadian dollars, is it?
Yes.
CA? Oh.
I would imagine so. They're from Canada.
Thank you ever so much. Love the videos and always have my wellies ready for adventure. Thank you ever so much. That's really kind of you. Really appreciate that.
There we are. Tom is in demand, Lynette.
Oh, I know.
Yes, everybody wants Tom.
Heather said gripe water. Now, confessions here.
Yes.
When we had our little children, gripe water, one thing always worked with our daughter, when she got hiccups, you just had to hold the bottle by her nose and the smell would instantly stop the hiccups. But, I like gripe water. Have you ever tried it? I smelled it though. I'm going to try some of this. I really like gripe water. So I wouldn't drink a lot of it because I think probably too much isn't very good for you, but I did pinch a little bit on a spoon.
There we are. It's Frisian for Grandma.
All right. Oh, that's lovely.
There you go.
Frisian, is it? Frisian? You're probably Frisian. Lovely. Oh, hi, Mike. We learn so much on here of all the sort of simple things, the sort of things you wouldn't find out off the TV or things like that, but we get chatting, we find out interesting things.
An interesting point there, Lisa. Since Tom isn't here tonight, and he is notorious for monkeying about with the thumbs down and then taking them off again, who gave you the 2 thumbs up?
Who is it?
Now,
confess.
Have you thought of this?
Is
Tom there? But he's not coming into the chat so that he can put his thumbs downs on without being identified. Now, perhaps we've sorted him out. If you're out there, Tom, knock twice for yes, once for no.
No, I don't think he's on.
We got 3 now. We've started it.
There we go.
Nope, and it's gone off again. See, now we've mentioned. See, he's out there. I'm sure he's out there.
This is all coming. If you missed this, Tom was clicking dislike, and playing about, and we didn't know where we were.
Yeah, no, great guy. He can't be with us tonight, obviously, but great guy. Absolutely brilliant.
Never mistake our joshing about, because we really love Tom. He's brilliant.
Yeah, first class gentleman.
Right,
do you want a question?
Yes, let's have a question.
10 minutes and 2 questions to go.
No, wrong one.
Ferocious.
Ferocious.
Good word, that, isn't it? I read it in a newspaper from 2014. It said, ferocious storms stripped thousands of tons of sand from the beaches above Aberystwyth in Cardigan Bay in 2014. Revealing what incredible sight which had been hidden for thousands of years.
Which I knew because somebody's commented on our last video and told us some information, so...
So they'll know, so if they're in, they might know. So when these thousands of tons of sand was washed away, what did it reveal that had been hidden for thousands of years?
Oh, Charlotte said, not gripe water, but I did sneak a spoonful of Farley's rusks. I tell you what I used to love is if you made up baby rice, you just get a box of dried baby rice, and if you made that up with baby milk, I sound terrible, don't I? I had to try it and I really got to like it. And you mix, so you make your plain baby rice powder up with baby milk mixed with water. Ooh, that is really nice. Probably really fattening because it's all designed to be high calorie for babies, isn't it? But I enjoyed that. I was always trying their food. Well, some of them. Do you remember the little Heinz tins you used to get? They weren't like a screw top. Some of you won't remember. You're too young. But instead of a screw top jar, you had like a little miniature tin. And they had things like spaghetti bolognese and things there, and spaghetti rings with beef and things. Oh, they were awful. The kids loved them, but I was like, even the smell.
Hello, Susie. Susie's just got you.
Oh, hello, Susie.
Great to have you with us. We're over 150 now.
Oh, Dawn said that instant rice cereal is amazing. It's not only me then. Right then. Have we got some answers in?
We've got answers in, and we've got correct answers.
Oh, well done,
We've
everyone.
got a lot of correct answers, because the actual answer I was looking for is the forest, the petrified forest of both. So forest wins it, petrified forest wins it. So our top three are Jenny, Lexi and Stuart. Stuart takes the prize. He was top of the list.
Well done, Stuart.
But can I just say to James and somebody else down here, Rachel, and anyone else who said footprints, you're correct, because they did also in the forest find footprints, and they found the imprints of the hoofs of animals where 4,500 years ago people were living there and keeping animals and farming. They also found burnt stones from where they built their campfires, and the remains of wooden structures that were built to try and hold back the water. This was global warming 4,500 years ago. The forest was lost, but because it brought peat in with it.
Oh, Pete, what was he doing there?
He was looking after the forest.
Oh, right.
Pete the forest man. It covered the forest and preserved it. So when the waters washed away the sands, what did they find? The forest was still there. The trees were still there. All the trunks, hundreds of oak trees and other trees that were still in place, and it was weird, it was eerie, and it was incredible. The archaeologists all went down there. But another point to make is they believe that the installation of flood defences, now that's what these guys were doing 4,500 years ago, trying to save their land. We're doing it today, and the installation of flood defences on that coast in 2012 caused the storms to take the sea away for the first time, take the sand away. And I've even heard reports that on South Beach on Tenby, they are starting to expose the cables under the sand, and there are lumps of concrete showing because the sand there is washing away. So we seem to be doing what we did 4,500 years ago, trying to stop the water taking the land. But forest is right.
Well done.
And we have our winner for that one. But as I say, footprints, good answer as well.
Oh, I'm glad you like my sense of humour, Mo. I got it off my father, and he had a terrible sense of humour too. Really corny.
There we go, see? There we go.
Right there. Oh, Pamela Chadwell said mom joke.
I
Right.
don't know, Janine, if there's a documentary. There may well be, but there's definitely newspaper reports and that of it at the time. And in May of this year, it was exposed again, and there were no storms. So which kind of gives the sense that it's not just the storms are causing it, it's the change in the flow of the water. If the water can't hit one spot, it'll hit another. And that's why they have to build sea defences where there is life and property to protect, but it will
Damages somewhere.
take out somewhere else. You know, it's a constant battle. The country we live in is the shape it is. We show the caves and the rocks and the giant's tooth. Bits are falling off all the time. And over on some parts of the country, Kent and around there, people's houses have disappeared,
Yeah,
pubs
it's
have
terrible
gone,
over there, yeah.
villages are starting to disappear as the land is just moving in, constantly changing, always evolving. But it's still a marvel to see. We live on a phenomenal world.
Right, do we have one more question? Because we have 3-4 minutes and it's the end of the show.
Well, funnily enough, I did say we would start with a question on Chepstow and end with a question regarding cardigan. So yes, we've got a cardigan question.
Where's he gone? Where's he gone?
But before I give you my cardigan question, I was rudely interrupted there. I just want to show you my bit of ancient wood. Remember me finding this? My
That's
very own
impressive, that.
bit of ancient wood. A sliver, as I described it, of ancient wood. It is absolutely beautiful. Who knows? Maybe it wasn't off a galleon, as I imagined. Maybe it's a little bit of bark off one of those trees.
Could be.
And washed up there on Cardigan Bay. Who knows? But whatever stories I may imagine, there's no denying there's something so tactile.
It does look like a plank, because bark tends to be softer, doesn't it, than the actual planks? So it would have rotted, I would have thought.
It feels so soft now. It feels, because of what the water has done to it. But lovely little bit of ancient driftwood, which has nothing to do with the question, but I loved it so much, I just thought, well, it's my show as well, so I'm going to show off my bits.
Get on with your question.
I'm going to get on with my question now. There is an item of clothing called a cardigan.
There is.
It is indeed. It was named after the 7th Earl of Cardigan. The 7th Earl of Cardigan was a British Army Major General. That's pretty high, I think. A Major General. And he led which famous charge during the Crimean War?
So I guessed this one because there was only one I could think of.
Sweater. Somebody else.
Cody,
we've had two. Cody's in, Pamela's in with sweater.
Yeah. Ooh.
Pamela's laughing.
Battle of Balaclava during the Crimean War. And we got Light Brigade, lots of Light Brigades. Yep. While the answers are coming in, I'll tell you something you might not know, just because I know it. We've got another castle called Raglan Castle, and you had Lord Raglan, and he was in a battle and had his shoulder ripped off or removed or blown away or for some reason, and so when they made him a false arm, they actually had to bring it right up here. Normally if your arm was off to there, they'd make a shorter one, a stump, but they had to put it right up here, and that is why, yours isn't. You get Raglan shoulders, and like these are drop shoulders, they come to there, and then you got the sleeve. But if you got a jumper or a top on with the seams go like that, so the sleeve actually goes right up to the neck and then onto the collar, then that's a Raglan shoulder sleeve. After Lord Raglan.
Is it Raglan sleeve or a Raglan?
Raglan shoulder, Raglan sleeve, depends.
Yeah. I wasn't sure how they said it. Yeah. And we have another famous, I tell you what, all they seem to do, these famous soldiers from history, is have clothes named after them.
Yeah, who else have we got?
Well, we've got a guy
Lord Tank Top?
No, we have the Prime Minister.
Boris Johnson?
Not Boris Johnson, I'm talking about a general from the old days. Wellington.
Oh, yes.
And he gave us our wellies.
He did. Well, he didn't give me my wellies.
No, he did. In fairness,
he's not that generous.
He was more likely to be wearing slightly different wellies to yours, dear. I don't think stripy wellies were in. But yeah, Wellington boots came from Wellington. There we go.
Right, then we better get an answer then.
Right, I think we've had quite a few correct answers. And Tepper, you were so close. You gave me Battle of Balaclava, the Crimean War. The only thing you didn't put in there was what was the famous charge in the war, which was the charge of the Light Brigade. So Stuart, I believe, is in first on that, followed very quickly by Mo, followed by Sharon, Kentish Mudlarkers, Lexi, Cody, going right down the page, Amanda. But I am pretty certain that that's the second answer Stuart has had tonight.
Yes, I think so.
I'm pretty sure. I haven't been writing it down, but if so, then he steals the crown and he is quiz champion of the night. Yeah, it was the charge of the Light Brigade, which Tepper was completely right, was during the Battle of Balaclava in the Crimean War.
Well done, those who got it.
So there we go. Probably the most famous charge
I don't remember any other charge
ever in history, and the reason it is so famous is because it was a famous mistake. And that's why the poet wrote of the 500 charging and their bravery, because they were heading straight into enemy fire, and it was a catastrophe in one way, but it was also an example of incredible bravery by soldiers. But it was a bad decision, it seems, by the leaders. But it has become extremely famous, and you got it. You got it.
Right, so we're gone 10 o'clock. We managed to fit in our 5 questions.
Yes.
So thank you everyone for joining us. It's been a great night. We really enjoyed reading your chat.
Can I say one thing?
Phil will just say one thing.
Caroline did pick up a big blob of goopy grey mud.
I did.
And said, we'll show you this on the live show.
Yeah,
cleaned
so
up.
you better show you.
So I'm just going to show you. It is now a twisted lump of rusty metal. That's what it is.
That.
But it has a rubber seat there with a dip in it. So I would say that fits onto a car, and that would have a rounded end coming into it, and it's like a track rod end type thing, except I'm probably talking rubbish. Some mechanic out there will know, but I don't think it was that twisted when it started. That came off a crashed car. So I just wanted to show you, because Caroline did promise, and I wanted to let you see it. There we go. Bye-bye.
So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you all next time. But until then, don't forget, have fun.
Have fun. Bye.